Hey, what's up, guys? So today I wanted to talk to you about the history of alchemy and what alchemy is. So I'll start by telling you what alchemy is. Alchemy is basically like the idea of transmuting or transforming one energy into another type of energy. So, like, say you're experiencing something bad, you're having a situation that some people might consider bad. You're in a situation that makes most people feel down, but you found a way to feel happy about it. You found a way to feel good about it. You found a way to flip it around into a good situation. That's alchemy. That's what I mean when I say transmute one type of energy into another type of energy. You're taking negative energy and flipping it around to be positive. And like this often, it doesn't necessarily have to be energetic. It can be, no, this isn't like, I don't know where I was going with that thought, but anyways, now I'm going to get into the history of it. So, alchemy, from what I understand, started out as an ancient Egyptian spiritual philosophy and or spiritual practice. Just a second, I'm gonna tie my shoe. Alchemy started out as an ancient Egyptian spiritual philosophy and or spiritual practice. And basically, over time, people started making theories that you could also take alchemy and apply it to the physical world, to physical objects. So people started trying to convince people that you could take iron and turn it into gold through the use of alchemy. But these people were found to have been using that, taking that and lying about it and using it as a way to control people and trick people. And the way that they did this was they were actually not alchemists, and they were very knowledgeable chemists. And they knew things about chemistry that were far more advanced for the time. They were very knowledgeable about sciences. And so they knew how to create chemicals that, when applied to iron, it would make it look like gold. And so it made it appear as though they were taking iron and turning it into gold. And a lot of, and these people were actually people that came from the belief system of spiritual alchemy. And so they would use that spiritualism in order to trick people and control people. In that way. And a little bit later, alchemy was, actually I think it was a little bit later, it might have been before this, alchemy was adopted by Christian mystics as a spiritual practice. And I don't really know how this came about, but they started utilizing the spiritual energy of the violet flame, which was tied and correlates to the energy, the spiritual energy of Saint Germain. I don't know much about this guy. I don't know much about the history of him. I'll probably do some research, study up, and make a part 2 on this if I can. I don't always follow through with that, but I'm gonna try to start doing that. But anyways, the violet flame is more than just a spiritual energy, though. The violet flame is actually the energy which is the energy which the sun, one of the types of energy that the sun gives off. Because basically the violet flame comes from ultraviolet light. And the sun, ultraviolet light, is the type of light. Just a second. Ultraviolet light is the type of energy, is the type of light that the sun gives off. And it's invisible to the naked eye, though some people can see it. A lot of people theorize that the spiritual realms are entirely made of ultraviolet light. And if you go to certain solar systems and you look on certain planets, all the plants on those planets will be purple. And the reason why is because their sun is blue. And blue suns are typically at the youngest point in their life cycle. And that means that that often means that they give off the most amounts, the highest concentrations of ultraviolet light. And so the plants on those planets are absorbing more ultraviolet light, and therefore they're healthier, and that makes them purple because of the ultraviolet light. And so basically, when you're using the violet flame, you're actually utilizing ultraviolet light in your spiritual practice. And so if you're a spiritual alchemist, it would be helpful for you to focus on drawing energy from the sun, because the sun is what creates that ultraviolet light. And it's what allows you to utilize the spiritual energy of the violet flame. And remember, it's more than just spiritual, it's physical. And one more thing that I wanted to talk about is, just a second, waiting for these cars to pass because they annoy me. One more thing I wanted to talk about was how modern day order, which utilizes alchemy the most in their spiritual practices, is the Order of the Golden Dawn. And from what I understand, their belief system is based on a mix between Christian and ancient Egyptian philosophies surrounding the subject of alchemy. But they're also utilizers of chaos magic, from what I've heard. But I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me. But trying to think of if there's anything else that would be helpful to say on this subject. I think that I heard somewhere something about the emerald tablets. I think that you might want to look into the emerald tablets, because I heard something about how they give ancient Egyptian knowledge based on the art of alchemy. But I don't know if that's true. I can't even remember if that's what the person said to me. I have to look into the emerald tablets myself and read about them, because they sound interesting. But anyways, blessed be everybody. Have a beautiful day. I love you all, and peace.